The Severe MMA Podcast Premium with Sean Sheehan and Graham McDonald. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Severe MMA Podcast Premium. Today joined by Will Fleury before his big fight at Bellator 217 this weekend. Will, how are things? How are you?
Yeah, feel good. Everything's going pretty well so far.
I believe you're getting a massage as we speak. How's that going for you?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's not bad, you know. Calves are getting released out now and everything will be ready to go by Saturday.
Well, I suppose we're what day are we now? Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, 2 more days until the weigh-ins. How's the weight looking, and how's that kind of preparation bit going?
Good, yeah. Like I've come in a little bit heavier than normal, deliberately so, because I've just found the weight cut pretty easy the last 3 or 4 times. So I reckoned I could put on a kilo or two. So I'm still very much where I should be, but yeah, a bit heavier than I have been previously. So bigger, basically.
What kind of weight are we talking about? Will you have to lose between kind of now and Friday morning?
I'll tell you that afterwards.
All right. No bother. I suppose looking at Sean Taylor, looking at his fights this morning, kind of as, preparing for this, he seems to be kind of a smaller middleweight. Obviously, he's fought a lot at welterweight. Is that kind of the reasoning behind it, or were you just doing it for yourself?
How do you mean, taking the fight with Sean?
No, but I mean putting on kind of weight, coming in a little bit bigger.
Just being a better athlete, basically. I kind of started, I've talked about this a bit, but just being a bit more explosive, because I'm incredibly fit. I feel I have a very low heart rate, all that stuff, but I just lack that kind of nervous system pop sometimes. So I went away and started doing a lot of plyometrics and heavy weightlifting to kind of develop that system a little bit more, and just trained a little bit less as well, trained kind of with more rest periods involved. And definitely, my nervous system adapted, and I got a good bit stronger, and I feel a lot more explosive now.
Kind of, I suppose, living in Tipperary, growing up, and you probably played a bit of hurling and stuff. Did you play a lot of sports growing up? Lots of people always talk when they have kind of that, that natural athletic ability, it usually is from playing young. Did you play a lot of sports when you were younger? Yeah,
quite a bit. I would have played hurling from kind of 8 till 12, 13, and then rugby from kind of 12, 13 till about 21. Yeah. And those would have been when I was into one, I was really into it, and when I was switched over, I switched fully. So I played the very odd game of hurling after that, but not much. So yeah, it was hurling and rugby were kind of my 2 big ones.
Yeah, I suppose in Irish MMA, we look at Carl Pinder, and he played a lot of rugby as well. What kind of level did you play at, and how did you feel that kind of transitioned over to MMA? Did it help you?
It definitely does. Look, it's not great for your body. Definitely. I think rugby just makes you battering around basically, and you're not the most flexible, and you're not gonna you're gonna be strong. You're gonna be well able to absorb impact, but I don't know if it is actually good for your joints, your body at all. And even there's very little attention paid to flexibility and attention paid to how well you're functioning as an overall athlete. It's just, are you a good battering ram? Can you get in and smash this? But yeah, I feel definitely that rugby benefited me from martial arts, because you can assess that collision. If I hit somebody's hip with my shoulder, I know what's going to happen. No, it's not the most relevant sport, but it definitely does help a bit.
Yeah, and I suppose it's contact as well. Rugby's, I always argue with my friends that rugby's
you understand
more
the physics of collisions is the way I'd put it.
I always try to argue that rugby is actually a more physical game than MMA. For if you look at it, okay, one night of MMA is more physical than one night of rugby. But if you look at it over a year, if you're talking about your body going through it, you kind of mentioned it there. It's just that taxing level that's getting on your body every collision that you're taking. You don't see that as much in MMA. Would you agree with that, or am I totally off?
100%. As in, yeah, definitely. After 80 minutes of rugby, you're battered no matter what, and you've taken big collisions to the head. Your head's been smashed into somebody's hip or something. Something's happened big. Week to week fighting, it's very look, I get very little head trauma really, and on the night, sure, most of the time, the way it's gone with me, I don't get head trauma. I know obviously the last one wasn't great, but yeah, there's I definitely think that the level of head trauma in rugby would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, 100%. Looking, obviously you mentioned your last fight there, and it's 8 months around that since that last fight. Is that something you wanted to do? You wanted to wait 8 months maybe to?
No,
No,
Jesus, no. I was mad to fight again as quickly as I could afterwards. I was hoping to get over to America in October, and then that got pushed back, and it became Dublin in December, and then the December card got cancelled. So man, it's been incredibly frustrating to have to wait this long to get a chance to redeem myself after the loss. Like, it's just, this wasn't planned at all.
Like, is it hard to find like a level between wanting to get back in there and get a win under your belt after a loss, and then like, you talked about head trauma there. It was obviously a pretty heavy knockout you took. Like, what's the balance you kind of strike between those two things?
Look, when you're away from that, you can assess it a bit better and say like, it's probably good to wait a while. Yeah. But in the middle of that, like the week after, I just wanted to fight again as quickly as possible, man. Your ego is just so badly bruised, and you just feel so fucking. I'm sorry.
Work away. We're on the internet here. You can say fucking bastard, whatever you want.
Yeah, but like, you're just mad to get back in there, and you're just mad to prove that, like, no, look, I'm still legit as fuck, and I can still, put on a hell of a show here, and like, I can beat anyone on my day. Like,
like assessing that afterwards. Was there big things you changed in the camp, or did you look at it and say kind of it was one mistake, or what way did you kind of look at it afterwards?
Attitude, basically, like, as in just complacency of attitude on the night, because my camp went extremely well. I felt like I was very like well conditioned. I was just doing really well coming into it, like, as in everything was going right. It was probably just that night, like, just didn't quite, and I like, look, it was a level of complacency. Like, I just expected to win. All I've ever done was win. I like saw this guy's skill set. I was watching videos of him. I just thought, nah, you're gonna smash this lad. And that attitude, like, and even like I've said it now in a different interview, just of like that entitlement to win. And it's a terrible thing, like, as in you like, I am this because I've worked to be this. Yeah. You're not entitled to anything, So I went in there with the attitude of like, no, I'm going to win this that night. And there was no real fear because of that. Like, and that fear is what keeps you switched on and keeps you, ready to perform and ready to smash the guy. And like, look, it went well. Like, this thing, I started that fight. I took him man down. I was landing shots a little bit, like, but not that, it was very like, it felt like it was just going to be easy. And then boom, it was over. So,
that's probably another hard balance to strike as well. How can you come in? I know you have to come in confident, but you don't want to come in too cocky. Like, how do you do that? Exactly. What have you done to kind of prepare to change that for this fight?
Like, look, it's something I've obviously struggled with a bit. Like, but I suppose I'm from, like South Tip. It's not a place where you like kind of get built up that much. Like, it's not, we don't have a culture of like saying you're the best or being the best or all that. So naturally, that's kind of my baseline psyche is like, no, you are what you've worked for. Like, and the only reason you're anyway good is because you spent ages doing this and you've given it everything and you're fucking going balls to the wall for the last 9 years at this. But there is there's something good about thinking you're better than people too. Like, and it does work to a degree. So like, it is striking that balance. And look, what if I changed this camp? I lost my last fight. So clearly I'm going to be a little bit more switched on going into this one. Like, I'm aware it's a possibility now. Like,
like, I suppose, another kind of thing in the preparations, a lot of the lads went to Iceland and stuff. Did you go to Iceland, or did you stay back in Dublin preparing?
No, I stayed in Dublin.
And what was the thinking behind that? How come you stayed in Dublin, didn't go with the rest of the camp over?
I'm working over here, and just like made more sense financially, basically.
Yeah. What are you working at the moment?
I'm a doorman in Berlin on Dame Street.
All right. So, like, a lot of people may look at, like, you're in Bellator now, this is your second fight in Bellator, and look at maybe UFC fighters and guys coming through and level as well, and think it's like, it's all rosy. But it's tough as well, like, especially when it's 8 months between fights, to just keep the lights on. I presume that's why you're doing it as well, and you'd want to be doing this full time, but it's it's hard for a lot of guys. Even looking at kind of Neil Seery fighting in the UFC, and he was still working a full-time job and everything like that. Like, is that something you want to kind of carry on, or is it something you hope that you can get more fights more regularly and kind of climb and won't have to do it?
No, like I prefer to be a full-time professional fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, bills have to be paid, and there's life at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
I'm not quite making the money yet that I can, but as soon as I am, I probably will stop working.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like my work interferes with my training much, which is the main reason. Like, this is my number one priority.
Yeah.
Like, mixed martial arts are what I've dedicated my life to, but I obviously need to make a living in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like kind of another thing on this camp coming through, SBG's kind of broken up a little bit now. There's a few different camps, and lots of the guys are kind of maybe not moving on, but moving and doing bits down in Nace or doing it in Swords and stuff. Like, where was kind of your base for this camp, and who were the kind of the main people you were with preparing for this fight?
Yeah, so this camp, it's pretty much all been Concord. There's enough big lads in here now that we have a good team. Like, I've been out in Swords a good bit over the last 2-3 years. And Swords is amazing. Like, I love going out there. Just the way it worked out with everything this time. Like, they kind of tend to train a little bit earlier in the morning, and I started doing more strength and conditioning stuff earlier in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get out there as much this time. But yeah, just the two, basically, mainly Concord, like 80% Concord and the odd bit out in Swords.
Mm-hmm. Like, is it tough to get time with, preparing for this camp? What is there like? I think there was 15 at one stage, SBG guys gone on. I think there's probably like 12 or 13 now at this stage. Is it like even hard to get time with the coaches at this stage? There's just so many people preparing for the 23rd of February.
No, like, as in, John's incredibly hands-on, and I don't know how he kind of maintains the level of mental effort that he does, but like, any day you're in here and you want to learn something from him, or you want to like pick his brain about something, mm-hmm. he'll find time for you. Like, and I suppose, there's just such a kind of infrastructure of like, getting it done. Like, the place is built around professional fighters. Like, so yeah, there's like, it's well structured basically.
Interesting. I suppose, looking forward into the fight against Sean Taylor. He's only fought once in the last 4.5 years. Like, how much? Yeah. How much you take into that one fight and other fights before that? Preparing for him. Yeah,
like, I think mentally that's going to affect him a lot. Like, I've been in front of crowds of 10, 12,000, or 11,000 in South Africa, mm-hmm. and I think it was 6,000 or 7,000 in Rome there last time. Like, I've been to the big shows. I've done a few big ones, like out in Jordan and with Brave as well. And like, I've traveled everywhere. So, yeah, like, I just feel like he's going to be a little bit less mentally prepared. And also, it'll probably be, I think this is kind of like, he's obviously got a good record and all that, but this is like last chance saloon for him nearly, where he's like trying to rebuild a career that he might have let go a little bit. And if you look at how long he spent away from the sport as well, it kind of just seems like mentally he gave up on it. Like, yeah. So look, I'm here to put that guy away basically and just get him out of my way.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of his? What do you think of his abilities in the cage? Like, watching him today, maybe he reminds me a little bit of a Peter Queally, maybe, kind of light in the feet and comes in and pushes guys against the fin. Seems very, very strong at welterweight anyway. What did you think when you were watching him of his ability in the cage?
He's not bad at anything, but like, I don't see anything he's amazing at either. Like, I don't see any tool there that I'm threatened by. And maybe that's something I need to feel. Maybe I should feel a bit more threatened by this guy. But like, genuinely, I just think I'm a bigger athlete and I'm just going to smash this lad. Like, there's a couple of things he does quite well once he gets people down. But you get me to that position, mm-hmm. Get me anywhere near there. I know what I'm doing with this thing. I've done all right. So, let's find out in the night. Like, I'm really excited to get in and smash this lad. Like,
definitely. One or two more things. Thanks very much for your time. Will, really appreciate it. The Sky deal. I talked to you at I think it was Bama maybe or something above in Dublin, and I was kind of saying, oh God, we won't be able to watch you fight now. But lo and behold, 2 fights in, we're going to be able to. Yeah, exactly. What do you like for someone like you who's been with Bellator now for a while? You've had one fight already. Most of the guys kind of came in after you. Like, what do you think about this Sky deal, and how happy are you that it's been signed?
Look, it's a game changer, man, as in, it, legitimizes everything so much. And like, it's a huge opportunity for all of us. It's like I'm saying, I'm here where I'm working as a bouncer the odd time, whatever. This Sky deal, it's potential to get sponsors, potential to, change what this is basically, like, and we're professional athletes, like, and, the standard is like if you look at the standard of the fights there's going to be on Saturday, and you go back and look at a UFC card 10 years ago, the standard's probably going to be higher on this card tomorrow, like, you know. So these guys deserve to be rewarded financially. We all do, like, so it's great to see it kind of finally happening.
And kind of from a broader point of view, myself and Graham and other people are always kind of talking about it on the podcast about kind of Irish MMA fighters on the come up. Like for you yourself, you know, the struggle to kind of not just get fights, but the kind of the fights you want and stuff. Like, talk to us about that. How much of a struggle is, and you know what. When you are kind of given a name, do you just say yes to the name straight away, or do you kind of want to build your career and take the general steps, you know, at the time that you kind of should be taking? Or are you just kind of roaring to get in there every time you kind of get a fight?
Pretty much. And like, look, maybe it's not the smartest thing to do, but you know, if I'm given a name, I'll take that name, like, and that's just the challenge in front of you. And I think like if you're somebody who backs yourself going into any challenge, you're a lot. Like, I do this to be proud of myself, basically. Like, I do this because I want to like who I am. And a big part of that is, like, having that kind of buzz of, like, no, you're the person who faces challenges. So, any name I've ever been offered, I've accepted, like. But, you know, maybe, like, there's a bit to be said for, like, you know, winning your, like, building that buzz, getting the hype behind it, doing all that. But it's just not my attitude. Like, I'll go in, I'll fight anybody. So, and I want to be that guy too, you know, like I see the merit in doing it the other way.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather be the guy who's willing to take on anybody.
All right. Last thing here, Will. The cage closes on you and Sean Taylor Saturday night. What's going to happen? How's it going to go down?
Late first round TKO.
Late first round TKO. You're telling everyone to back it, so get down to Paddy Powers. Put it on.
Put the house on it.
Are you calling the shot? What are you going to do? You're going to take him down and beat him up?
I can't tell you what it's.
Richard Kiley told me he's going to knock him out with a head kick. So he'd one off you here, is he?
All right. Let Richie knock him out with a head kick. So, but I've got a nice little tool that I'm going to use, and if it knocks him out, it knocks him out. If it doesn't, he's going to get finished shortly afterwards anyway. So.
All right. Sure, best of luck anyway. We'll tell everyone.
We have a lot of video clips. Myself and Tommy Martin was drilling that. So I'll pull it up and be like, here. This is what I told you was going to happen.
I'll give Tommy a ring and I'll ask him what it is before.
Good man.
Before I let you go, tell everyone where to follow you, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and any sponsors or anything you want to give a shout out to.
Cool, yeah. I'm Will Fleury on Instagram. I'm Will fucking Fleury on Twitter. I'm sure I have a Facebook fan page and all that as well. Then sponsors, I have Mattress Make on board, which is quality.
Legend.
Ross Nutrition, Flyfit have just come on board, Chopped, and Extra.ie as well. Perfect. Have jumped on board too. So yeah, like with the Sky deal, man, there's been a lot more interest, you know, and I think I do a pretty decent-ish job at like keeping myself somewhere respectable. So hopefully people are willing to get on board.
You're one of the few lads who does it, but fair play to you anyway. Is Michael C. Williams going to call you Will fucking Fleury in the cage on Saturday night? I hope he does. No.
Yeah, I asked before.
We need to get a campaign started to get that going.
Yeah, they were saying like, as in over in England, I got called Will fucking Fleury a few times.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Like even I'm thinking of just changing it to the line of Tipperary. To be honest.
I know, keep that Tipperary stuff away from me. As a Limerick man here, I can't be hearing that Tipperary stuff.
The line of Tipperary, man.
All right, sure. Best of luck on Saturday night anyway. I'm sure we'll have you on again before the next one. Thanks very much, Will. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you all next time.